All right, thank you for joining me, fellow Hollow Table heroes. This is Skinless, the guild leader for the Alliance Guardians, part of the World Cluster, and today's video is going to be looking at our Jedi Knight Revan. So this is usually the number one sought out hero's journey character for new players, and here you need 5 characters specifically to complete the event. Now, I'm a little bit above what is really required. It says about ability level 8, and that holds fairly true. What I have found for this event is that if you have Bastilla and you have Jolie at high gear levels such as 11 or 12, you really can just ignore the others. However, something to keep in mind is that these characters are required for Malik. So having them higher geared and set up is really not a bad thing. Really, T3 can be forgotten about. You could do this. I think I initially did this when he was at gear 6. I had Mission and Zalbar at gear 7, and I had the gear 12s for Jolie and for Bastilla. Now, if we're looking at mods here specifically, I like to use speed and potency for Bastilla. Speed is really important, but you could probably give her some health, really health is going to be your best bet, especially because of her leader ability before you even get Revan. But she doesn't need to be too fast, actually. I mean, I've got her at 173. That's extremely slow, but she works really well, actually. So if we were to go to Jolie, and Jolie, I've gotten some speed and some health. When it comes down to it, I mean, health, speed, those are the two big things for them in general. I've got them at 199 speed, so you can keep up the healing process, the calling assists, and whatnot. Mission... I've gone ahead. I'm giving her all health. I really am just looking at survivability for these tunes. The longer they survive, the better. No matter what you're looking at, really. I mean, she gets a stacking potency anyway, so you don't need to worry too much about that. You don't need any of the Omegas. You don't need the Zeta to beat Jedi Knight Revan. I have these specifically just for Malik when I went through that. But you can really just leave the abilities at right before Omegas, and they are honestly fine. If you do decide to go forward and just go hard towards Malik, this is what you're going to be wanting to look for anyway. Once again, Zalbar, survivability. He is your tank. He is the one who's going to absorb all that beautiful damage for you. So I've got him set up. Again, very, very slow. You really don't need a lot of speed on these guys. You should, at some point, eventually you can work on their speed, but it's not the end of the world. And once again, this was a character that I had no Zeta, I had no Megas on, and was able to go through this event. And last but not least, we've got our T3. As you can see, I have not maxed a single ability on him. The only reason why you even want to put those Zetas on him is possibly if you're running the General Grievous nuke team. But I've gone ahead and I've given him some speed, given some health, survivability, and speed, so that way he can get his dispels out there and kind of get the job going, as well as just making sure his ship is kind of set up for him. So now we kind of know what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and start the event. So we're going to go ahead and start with our tier 1. It says you can start with a 2-star. Really, I mean, it's better to do this all at once with your 7-star characters. Neither have a leader ability, so it doesn't really matter who you put in the spot. So we're going to go ahead and give it a start. So we get our first glimpse at Jedi Knight Revan. And we are going to fight the mighty Rancor. So it's kind of like the Rancor raid. But, you know, we're going for it with our 3-peat. So right here, I'm going to be looking at the Power Blast. The Power Blast is going to give the armor shred. This is going to make the Rancor weaker than what he is already at. So we want to go ahead and start off with that so that every move... Oh, and it did not stick. So we're going to go ahead and start just attacking. Do what we can. Get some cleanse and some other stuff going on, and just start kind of chopping away at him. As you can see, I mean, he's just slowly but surely just going down, and The first event is really just to kind of give you a taste of what some of these guys do, kind of teach you about their kits. I don't need to cleanse anything, so I'm just going to go with the basic. Nothing too crazy. Let's try to get this again. And there we go. We got the armor shred. So that's great. We want to get that armor shred on there so that you can see that the damage output is going to be even higher because we're able to kind of bypass that damage. His other moves here on Revan, they really don't come into play until you have them with other Jedi. So using this basic is not a big deal. If we had gotten some debuffs, we would have wanted to start messing with some of the other stuff, passing around some turn meter. But for this first part, you know, your basics are really going to just do it for you. So we've gone ahead and we've gotten ourselves our very first tier. Let's go on to tier 2, and we're going to actually meet up with a new friend. So we have Bastilla now. Now, Bastilla does have that leader ability. I do highly recommend having that Zeta. Now, when you're working in Arena, most times you're going to have Giant Revan as your leader. It is still important to have that Zeta on her leader ability because there are times, actually, specifically against the General Grievous teams, where you want that extra protection because she gives that 150% protection up, or the 200. Wow, actually the 200. I apologize, 200 when you have the Zeta, 150 otherwise, which is great. You want to get as much as you can on her to kind of lead the rest of the team and all the Jedi that follow along with it. So it's going to work really well to your advantage. So we're going to go ahead and use her as the leader, and she's really only going to be buffing up Revan, but those two are really going to carry everything. You're not really doing a whole lot with everyone else. Yeah, they're fun, they're great, but you're not doing a whole lot with everyone else. So everyone's going down pretty quick. If you don't have your characters at the gear levels that I do here, like I said, I'm more Malik ready than anything else. You may have to take a couple hits on everybody. And the tunes that you're going to want to take out are specifically going to be your tank tunes. They're the ones that are going to be doing actually the most damage, funny enough. Tanks normally aren't known for that, but they're going to be the ones that are going to be the most annoying. So someone like this Bruiser. He is going to be the first guy I want off the field. Even though he's just taunting, he also does a lot more damage than anyone else. So there we go. And just like any other hero's journey that you've probably seen here, you're really not going to find a lot of difficulty in these initial tiers. So I can go ahead and I can just call Revan to assist, get that out of the way. From here, I mean, I could look at, you know, Mob Enforcer, Pirate Leader. I mean, these guys all don't have a lot going on for them, so I'm going to take out some of the guys that are weaker just to get them out of the way. I want less hits. I want to survive. But as phase 4, doesn't really matter. But this is a good habit to build, and that's one of the things that I do like about these events is it helps you to build these good habits early on. So we've gone ahead and we've beaten tier 2. For tier 3, you actually get the addition of T3. Once again, keep Bastille in your leader slot. She's really not going to leave your leader slot at any point. So there we go. T3's getting the door. You know, he's doing his, you know, whatever T3 does. And we got some Sith soldiers here. Sith soldiers aren't really much of a problem. When we get the Sith commandos here in a little bit, that's going to be the real complaint here. So they're stealth. They do a lot of damage. It didn't do jack. So that's kind of annoying. So if you get really bad RNG, you may find yourself just not hitting them, and that's going to suck. But if you're able to work around it and kind of work your way around it, that's great. And here, Sith Marauder is your biggest enemy, so we're going to want to take him down the fastest that we can. He's just specifically, the way his kit is built, he's the most powerful of the enemies that you're going to face in this tier. There we go. We've gone ahead and we have taken out tier Let's see, tier 3 is done. We got tier 4 now. And now we actually have the full thing, the full beans, as we would say. And we're in a very familiar place. Tuscans, we've talked about in my CLS video. Standard Tuscans ain't no thing. You don't really have to worry too much about them. They go down like it's like no problem. So we're gonna go ahead and get those guys out of the way. There we go. Just keep taking them down. They're gonna assist a bunch if they actually get to ever attack, which doesn't really matter if they do or not. It just tickles. So T3 is taking a little bit of a beating, but he's also the lower tier. If you really don't care about getting 3 out of 3 on a lot of these stars, T3 is the joke of this whole thing. You just can let him do his thing. So there we go. Now I'm gonna want to be looking at who I want to take down first. Probably the shaman, and we're gonna go ahead and give some armor shred to the elder, just so that we have it on there. Look at that! Oh, wow, that was good RNG there to get all those extra debuffs on there. And we have other debuffs that we could toss out, but it really doesn't matter. I keep passing turn meter with my extra move to Bastilla specifically because she's really going to be my main damage dealer. If you do not have the Zeta on mission, you'll notice that she's not going to assist Zalbar. That just makes it a lot easier, but again, it's not really required. I recommend it for Malik, but it's not exactly something that is required. So we've gone ahead and we have met up on Tatooine. So we're going to go to tier 5 now. And we've got all of our guys here. So now we're back in a place looking for another holocron, and we're gonna fight the Sith soldiers and the Sith bull crap that that we're getting a whole ton of. So a lot of counterattacks, which is fantastic. We love counterattacks. If we ever need, we can use we can use Jolie to kind of do some cleanses as needed, but it's not really going to be something that's required. So there we go. We got some kills in there. Kill order really is a lot, is a bit of everything. I would be taking out those Sith commandos, but we're stuck behind all these stupid taunts. So Sith commandos go down pretty quick, but they are annoying to deal with. They do a lot of damage. And we've got a whole ton of them here, which is just ridiculous. Let's see if we can get the Sith soldier down as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and hide here and blind him. All right, so now that we can, see, we still got to take him down, do some AoE. We can debuff everybody with T3, which is actually a nice benefit of T3. I do like that about him. He does have a decent kit. He's not a A+ tune. He's nothing too special, but he's not a bad character to gear. So I mean, if you happen to feel the need to put something into him, don't feel ashamed. It's all about just finding what's going to work best for you. And again, he works really well in those nuke teams. So right now I'm just doing some calls to assist and really not getting a whole lot here. T3 isn't doing so well. He definitely needs a little bit of love. So I might be able to try to go ahead and use Jolie to, there we go ahead and give him some extra. We're not going to use his special yet because we have no debuffs out there that we have to worry too much about. So there we go. We've got some stuff going on, some Sith commandos, and making our way through this. So this event really is not that difficult. They didn't really tune the Revan event very high, I would say. Revan, on the other hand, is definitely going to be a lot more difficult, but I see that this event really isn't too much of a concern or a problem to go through. If you're just gearing as you're supposed to be, working as you need to be, I see we've lost T3. if you plan on working on T3, that's great. That's awesome. That's, it's not required, but it's, something that's there. That's an option to do, and you can get your 3-star if you're so concerned about it. I personally, I mean, as a perfectionist, I like to have the 3-star, but it's just not working in my favor right now to do so. I need to be working on some other teams. So we've gone ahead and we've gotten through the holocron stuff, and we've taken care of the majority of the event. So the last bit here is going to be your tier 6. And this is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, in my opinion, is that of the commandos. This guy isn't actually too much of a problem. He's basically a Rancor on steroids. And you can take him down relatively easily. It's just he has a lot of health. Just a lot of health. So it's patience more than anything else. I just continue to feed Bastilla as much as I can, because she's going to be my main thing. We want to get as many debuffs on him as we can. We're going to go ahead and hide there, give some blind. Just as many debuffs as possible. He's throwing rocks. He's angry. But, we didn't take that much of a beating this whole time. So we're going to continue to pass some turn meter around and do what we need to do. And there we go. So no one to heal up. Oh, so now we'll have somebody to heal up a little bit next time T3 gets his turn. But let's see. Let's go ahead and call Bastilla again. She's going to be doing the most damage. Call each other. Because Revan and your Bastilla are your bread and butter, per se, during this event. It's not like some of the other ones where you have to have some... you have to use really everybody. I mean, again, if you really don't really care about getting some of that extra in there, it really doesn't... It's not going to behoove you to get any extra on there. So we'll go ahead and get another armor shred on him. So now we got some extra armor shred, which is great. We're going to go ahead and blind him again, which is awesome. Just keep calling Bastilla to assist. She's just going to do most of the damage this entire time. It's great. As you can see here, we haven't really taken a lot of damage, and he's doing all sorts of crazy stuff here. So let's go ahead here and heal up Zalbar. I just want to make sure that everyone survives. I want to keep everyone going as long as I can. If you choose to let people die, well, hey, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not gonna, it's not going to lose you anything if you have solely relied on the 2 tunes that I have really pushed forward here. Bastilla having been lead, she still has that extra going on for her, as far as for the protection, which is great. I love it. So we're almost there at this point. So there we go. Look at that. Another armor shred. And we've done it. And at this point, by beating this crazy beast, you have officially unlocked yourself a 7-star Revan. So this will be the light side. The first half of your Malak journey is over. And in that case, then I'd like to be the first to congratulate you on getting your Jedi Knight Revan. And at this point, I do hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Click like if you like the video, subscribe if you choose to. Continue to try to work on getting every journey guide character out there on this video channel. Either way, I'm not offended if you don't. It's specifically built just to help you guys out as much as I can. So I hope that you people all have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.